Is up, Chaos Crew and everybody else? The stock market is on fire, and I just got to say, we told you so. We told you so. Not necessarily about the stock market, even though we did tell you so on that too. But all you bitches complaining about Rocket, and what happened? We just talked about this yesterday. Was it yesterday, Christian, or was
it? Yes, it was yesterday.
Bunch of people crying about Rocket, and then it finally went off. See, patience pays off, people.
It was obnoxious. Every 5 seconds, what's up? It would move down like a quarter or an eighth of a percent. It'd be like 3 cents. It's at 1998. What are we going to do? What's wrong with you? And then the best part was it goes off today, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I knew it all along. I'm good. I was good. Yeah, I thought so. I doubled down. Yeah, everybody, come on, get out of here."
Oh man, yeah. We love you guys, though. We love you guys. This is why we hang out with you. And you give us a hard time, we'll give you a hard time right on back. But that's what it is around here. And if you guys are visiting for the first time, welcome to End the Chaos. Haven't said this in a while, but we created this channel because the stock market is crazy and chaotic. We want to help you own it. And sometimes it ends up owning us, but we come back on top. Don't worry about that. So if you guys are interested in either just kind of being a part of the crew, being part of Own the Chaos, hit that subscribe button. And more importantly, if you want to take that extra step, hit that join button too. As you can see, everybody in the Chaos crew is in the chat right now hanging out. We also provide daily watch lists as well as private live streams and access to our public portfolio as well via we will be able to take a look at that in a few minutes, but you get daily updates on that if you're part of the Chaos crew. So make sure you're hitting that join button and come hang out with us and help support the channel as well.
Go ahead. Speaking of the Chaos crew, I want to shout out some of our peeps, my people. We got Scanny Jai, King Braddock is in the house, Jorge Gonzalez, Tommy86, Hope is in the house, and I have a conspiracy theory. Another one. I'm on fire with you. Hope said she's spending more time with us than her husband, which I believe that her husband is Steve King. And I think she uses a pseudonym so they don't realize it. So like they feel bad, but they're
oh my God. You guys
retirement will invest. Benjamin Castaneda Rivera's show was on the watch list. So I think yes, but that was more a spec play. We'll get into that later. Ema, I'm not a fan of the No Life crew, but you're committed to it. So we'll see if we can get it going. SoundCloud. And Gabriel says, if Amazon stays above 3,200, see you soon 4K. I hope so.
I mean, it's hard to argue that. But we're going to be talking about, we got all kinds of stuff on the board today to chat about. There's, who we got? We got Shama. Welcome to the Chaos crew. Happy to have you. So we got, obviously, Tesla news, as you can tell by the title. We're going to be talking a lot about that today, but the overall stock market as well. It's obviously had a huge day. We are seeing a bit of a sell-off here. Not sure what's up with that, but pretty positive news as far as the stimulus is concerned. And we talked about this, about how tough of a month September was, and that it may be in your best interest to start putting money to work. Started talking about that the last week and a half. And obviously paying off here today, which, by the way, if you're part of the Chaos crew, you would have known that already. But yes, there is a little bit of a pullback. See, Mike, I don't know what's up with that. Hopefully we'll just start. It's just a regular old pullback, some profit taking or what have you. We'll see something going off in Power Hour here. But yeah, man, Tesla is just on fire.
Tesla is on fire. CNBC had just put an article up while we were counting down, and it just said that stimulus hopes fade. So I don't think there's any. I was looking through it quick, but we'll see what happens as it gets closer to the day.
Yep.
But Tesla was beautiful. So many beautiful stocks. Tesla was one. Obviously we've been talking about all the time, but we're waiting for the news on the delivery numbers for the previous quarter. By all expectations, they're supposed to beat. They're supposed to set record numbers, looking for about 140 to 144,000. The previous record was 112. So they should break the record. It's just a case of by how much.
Yes.
So that should be today or tomorrow. Look out for that. And everybody's looking out for that. So then the question becomes, what now? Normally record numbers leads to a stock going off, but Tesla's a different beast. Do you think that still the same thing happens there?
So this has kind of been my worry about Tesla, because Tesla's gone up so much in anticipation of them beating those numbers. And I'm a little concerned about this potentially being a buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing. So that, even to your point, that even if the news comes out that's good, I don't know if anybody's going to be necessarily surprised by record breaking numbers. I think what'll be really surprising is just by how much, kind of like how you were saying. But I think there's plenty of other catalysts that are coming up, obviously earnings as well. And we talked about a little bit about the semi trucks and that production and when that could be becoming underway here, which should be relatively soon. But no, so yeah, there's definitely some cause for concern in the short term when it comes to those sales numbers. But I think that there's an array of catalysts that are coming up right behind it, that if it does dip, it may be worth just grabbing some more up and either just holding a larger position of Tesla, or if you're still down, maybe averaging down a little bit, gives you some opportunities to get some on the cheap.
Yeah, and we're looking at that 450 mark, seeing how that's looking, but I don't necessarily think it would go below 400. I think it could pull back towards that 418, 420 mark, which I feel that way, that I would add on to it, especially leading up to the end of the month. But the partnership with Walmart, Walmart tripled their orders for semis, and that leads me to believe that there's going to be some news coming for semis, which is exciting. And that news, production's supposed to be 2021, where they deliver them. So that's awesome news for us. And if we can get some concrete dates, that's awesome. So my mind went to, why is Walmart Canada out of the blue tripling orders? I believe because there's conversations with Tesla that we're closer to that, or at least we know when the delivery is going to be. And it's even if it's mid 2021, it doesn't matter if they can give a definitive date on when those deliveries are going to happen.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And so just to kind of give you guys some food for thought, if you're looking to either just kind of swing trade some Tesla, or if you're looking to invest, just keep those things in mind leading up to the sales and what it has coming up behind it, and kind of make your decisions from there. A couple of other things that we wanted to talk about. Again, the stock market, why things are moving up so much. And obviously the stimulus has been on everybody's mind. Overall, stock market is still up. We're starting to see some buying return here, it looks like, in the market overall. So it could be a relatively decent bounce. But one thing that we were just talking about before going on air is making sure that you're taking some sort of profit off the table, and whatever that might mean to you. If you're just in some speculative plays or short-term swing trades, or if you're something in long-term, you may end up starting to trim something out, because today is just a monster of a day. And it'd be hard to imagine if we had a second day in a row quite like this one. But stranger things have happened. So that's why I'm saying maybe just trim some, take some off the table. Don't get too greedy in thinking that this thing is just going to keep going, especially with everything else that we have going on, right? There's so many moving parts. We have stimulus, we have the presidential election, we have so much other stuff happening. And so taking some off the table, looking for potential dips to buy in lower, makes a whole lot of sense. So I don't want people to get wrapped up in the moment, even though it's very hard to do, but definitely want to keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, I already trimmed off some stuff. So I picked up some stocks late yesterday, which is sort of a newer strategy for me. Due to like the volatility in the morning, I tended to try to stay away from it a little bit. I've now been looking at checking out the market at the end of the day, around now, 2-3 o'clock, and seeing what opportunities I think there are. So I've been doing that this week, and it's been working really well for me. So my day is more spent managing on what I have, trimming, taking profits, adding on whatever, but then picking up new positions. So Penn did well for me. I had earlier in the week, I'd picked up PayPal, did really well, sold, and got into Square, which worked out perfectly. Big C worked out perfectly. So I took profits on all those. I'm still in. Oh no, Peloton. Oh man, I told you I stopped at a Peloton 8 cents from the bottom, but I locked in a great gain. I had a 10% gain. So whatever, but still hanging on to those. I did cut ties with Rite Aid.
Yeah.
Stopped out.
Yeah.
My bottom was 935. It's above that now, but I just stopped out, cut losses. May look for a re-entry at some point if there's some activity and volume and confirmation moving up. But I know a lot of people have been asking about that. it was what it was for me. It was a swing trade, short term, day trade, potentially hold on to a couple days, and I was just done with it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just have to do that, when things are just looking really rough and it's below even your own risk tolerance. You got to make sure that you have the discipline to just walk away, even if it ends up having to come back up. Sticking to a plan is absolutely crucial. So next order of business, we can come back to Tesla as we're just watching this. It looks like it's bouncing, sitting at 444. But some big news coming out of DraftKings today with the Eagles, actually.
Yeah. So DraftKings and I feel like DraftKings has been doing all they can to be as active as possible.
Yep.
They signed on Michael Jordan to the board, partnerships. I mean, they spend money. These guys spend money. So the latest is, the partnership with the Eagles and sponsorship of like their lounge, which they may have already had it actually, I believe.
Yes.
So, that's great. That's great. And I think we talked about potential consolidation in the market in the future, and DraftKings is for sure on the forefront. I'm going to tell you an interesting story though. And it'll lead us to Penn. I think DraftKings I've got no issues with the play. Yeah. I play Penn, or I invest in Penn.
Yeah. I
was with a friend yesterday who works for Under Armour and is fairly, has been there for a while. I'll stop there. But we were talking, and I was just asking, like, not necessarily about stock, but just about the business. And I mentioned to him how I felt like the product had went down a little bit in the past couple of years, and whatever. So we're talking, and I had just said, like, did you guys just bite off more than you can chew? And he's like, yeah, I think so. And like, we had just so many things going on. And one of the things he mentioned was Under Armour had done these sponsorships with schools that were like ridiculous contracts a few years back. And they had been really investing in sports, and they went at Nike and just put in a ton of money trying to get these stars. But really these schools that these huge partnership deals had. And he was talking about how he thought that was sort of where they started going wrong. And I wonder if I worry that it's a similar situation with DraftKings. Like, you're just throwing money anywhere, and is the return worth it? Right.
Right.
And so is the juice worth the squeeze? That's what I worry about, because Barstool doesn't have to do that. Much like Tesla. Tesla doesn't spend money on advertising and sponsorships and stuff like that. They focus on making the product better. Penn, fortunately, doesn't have to get their name out there in that way. So I think it's a great move. I mean, I think it's a positive move. If I own DraftKings, I like that they're trying to do that stuff. But how much money are you spending, and is it worth it?
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, and I couldn't agree more. You look at, we're trying to build something here at Own the Chaos, right? We're trying to build a community. We're trying to build, kind of like that cult-like following. And you guys tell us, have we been doing a good job of that or not? But what kind of following does DraftKings actually have? And I think that's kind of one of the big missing. Yeah, missing. That's a plural of moose, by the way. You didn't know that? Meese. I don't know why it's not meese anyway. Should be meese. Geese and goose. Why is it not meese and moose? But anyways, looking at DraftKings, they don't have a cult-like following like that, where like they're just loyal to the bitter end. And I think FanDuel is trying to buy into that. They're trying to subscribe to that, especially with Pat McAfee and the deal that they have with them. So I think that the closest you probably could compare Penn National is probably FanDuel, but DraftKings just doesn't have that. They're just trying to get these big names, whereas Penn, the best acquisition, the best decision I think Penn National has ever made was that Barstool deal. And you could argue that Barstool got the short end of the stick as far as that's concerned. I mean, I don't know how you say that when, Dave Portnoy is now worth $100 million, but it's still like, when you look at the big picture, they probably got the better end of that deal. But, I just think that when it's all said and done, you're going to see Penn at the top, and then these other two are probably going to be duking it out. And who knows, they'll probably end up merging together and kind of like what you're saying, consolidating. I think that's probably what will end up working out in the long run.
Yeah, and I have a question. So, if you're in a cult, if you run a cult, do you call it a cult? Because I feel like you don't say cult.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
All
matter.
right, everybody, welcome to the cult.
We don't have to have crazy rituals, but I mean, we could if you wanted to.
As long as they don't involve cheesecloth condoms, I'm okay with having the discussion. And boner candles. What's happening in this cult?
That's what I'm saying. We got some creeds going on, and one of them just happens to be boner candles and cheesecloth condoms. I mean, what do you want me to say?
We do. It's called the daily watch list.
Yeah.
We got that daily watch list, and I want to just talk about a couple stocks on the daily watch list. So for those that aren't a part of the crew, those in the crew get a daily watch list. We send it out every morning at 8:30 a.m. with 5 stocks that we're watching, not buying, we're watching. And man, those things went off. And I want to point out a few. Rocket obviously went off. It's been teetering around that 10%, briefly went above that. I'm looking for that breakout. We think it's going to continue to go. But we were waiting for a catalyst, and the catalyst came, which is the realtor.com. Shoot, you know what? I lost it already. It wasn't a partnership. Was it the?
It was just record numbers from realtor.com. It was the highest number they saw in September ever since the beginning.
Yep. Now this makes sense. And what they were saying in the article, thank you for refreshing my memory.
Yeah.
What they were saying in the article was that typically home sales slip because everybody's going back to school and they're focused, like the parents and families are focused on going back to school and you're not making those changes. Well, now the students are home for the most part. So that's impacting it. And obviously the interest rate being at an all-time low.
Yeah.
So that's really great to hear. And here's the other thing that not many people are talking about, but we'll talk about it now, and you're going to hear it later, is the demand isn't even, the supply isn't even there yet. So demand continues to go up, but still people aren't putting their houses on the market. So right now it's a seller's market. So, houses are not staying on the market. And that's the record, is like how long they stay on the market. They're not staying on the market. And here's what's going to happen. Simple supply and demand. Demand's really high. It's pushing the price up. And the sellers or homeowners are like, I'm not going to sell yet because their house is going up in value. Yeah. There will come a point where the prices get so high and demand pushes the prices so high that the sellers are just like, now I'm going to put my house on the market.
Yep.
And that's going to be another influx. That point is going to be another influx. Right now, all the sellers or all the homeowners are doing is they're refinancing, which benefits Rocket, but it's going to benefit again when those numbers push up. And that's not going to happen anytime soon.
No.
So demand's going to continue to go up. And then when the supply starts flooding the market, that's going to help Rocket even more. So watch out. Q1, Q2 next year. I mean, 2021 is going to be phenomenal for this stock.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, and we haven't even talked about how interest rates aren't moving until at least 2023. So, according to the Fed anyway, things can change. But that's another huge factor that's going to just promote people to buy. So, or influence people to buy. So it's going to be a huge stock, I think. And we were talking about it yesterday and even this morning within our mentorship folks, or with our mentorship folks, that the prices that it was at in the $19 range was just a joke. Like, what's it doing down here? And then we put our tinfoil hats on as far as analysts are concerned and all that good stuff. And now they're just proving our point, it seems. But I think that Rocket definitely, and really just the housing industry altogether. So if you don't want to look at Rocket, it's not your thing, that's fine. But look at things like Home Depot and Lowe's and Restoration Hardware, a lot of the other ones that we've talked about, because the housing industry isn't going anywhere. And that's why we've seen stuff like Wayfair and Etsy, all of the like home decor, that kind of stuff moving as well, because it's all related to the housing market. There's so many things that it connects to that you can go in any other direction. We just like Rocket because it's super cheap and it's been beaten down and it doesn't belong here and it doesn't make sense. So that's why we decided to, really kind of go hard on it. But it's actually moving pretty good again here as we're speaking, sitting up it's up over 10% now. Just cracked over $22 a share.
Let's go, baby.
It feels real good, man. It feels so good when you feel so confident about yourself and you just freaking nail one. And I just feel like that way about Rocket.
Joseph Albright said, "Fat man, congratulations on your Rocket lecture. Made some of us a good profit today." It's we talked about this too. Like a couple people are mentioning how they got into the top on certain things, and it's hard to buy something when it's red.
Yeah.
But So one of the things that I do, we've never talked about this, but one of the things I do is I see red and then I go and I do a quick search, see if there's any news, any justification for the red. And if there's not, and I like it and it's at a good level, I'm going to get it. So, like, obviously, if there's sort of justification, but that's the volatility happening. So, that's why we both felt so confident. There was no real justification behind it, but a few other stocks just to shout out, and you could piggyback off any of these. These are just watchless wonders. Just made that up. Etsy, strong Q3 growth that just got reported today. So that sucker went off almost 8%. Google did pretty well today. It's trying to break that 15. Nvidia, great call on you. Peloton, Zoom, Penn, all these guys. Just monster moves that have gone really well. So if you and the Chaos crew have been following along and being smart and having a strategy, you should have done well. And it sounds like we had a lot of people doing well off these plays.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, if you're watching and you're not part of the crew, make sure you're hitting that join button or checking the link in the description. We'd love to have you guys hang out in the Chaos crew. By the way, for those of you who are helping support this channel and being a part of the Chaos crew, obviously we're helping you, but you're also helping us. You're helping support this channel. We're actually looking at places to move to have a legitimate studio, something that we haven't really been too vocal about publicly, but we are really looking to have that and to grow. And you guys being part of the Chaos crew and just kind of contributing to the channel is definitely helping us towards that. So we appreciate all of you guys that are just either watching or even just part of the crew. Any ways that you guys can help, we certainly appreciate it.
So another play that we haven't really talked about but went off today, Bed Bath & Beyond, BBBY. That benefits as well from the stuff you talked about with the housing and stay at home and all the other stuff. That sucker went off. It was up like 13, 15%. I don't even know what it is at now. What do you got for that?
For which one?
Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh yeah, that thing went crazy. So this is one that I actually wasn't really expecting to go off, but they crushed earnings. They finally got around to
30%.
Yeah, it's up 30%. They finally got around to figuring out the e-commerce side of things. And let me go ahead and switch over and just kind of show you the chart. But it went absolutely bonkers today. It went up as high as $20 a share at the closing yesterday. Just under what, 1480, 1475. So this thing went absolutely crazy. And the struggle for Bed Bath & Beyond up to this point was online sales. They hadn't really quite figured out the e-commerce platform. And I guess finally they started to ramp that up over this last quarter. And that's what's really kind of propelled them. Their online sales were through the roof. And so Bed Bath & Beyond finally is staying afloat. They closed like a bunch of stores as well. So that probably helped out their bottom line. So, yeah, it's surprising, but it doesn't, but it makes sense.
Yeah, there was a few earnings today, and Bed Bath & Beyond, they had their first comparable stores sale increase since 2016. So they had that 90% digital growth, but man, finally getting an increase. It took 4 years for you to get positive sales increase in the stores. That's wild.
It just took well, that's why I was saying, their e-commerce side of things were just abysmal up until this, I guess maybe the Rona ended up forcing their hand to finally focus on it.
But that's interesting, though. I'm not sure how that works because e-commerce, I don't think that goes into comparable store sales. Maybe it does, but that should be actually a separate category.
That's a good point.
So I think, kind of both coupled, because everybody's kind of killing e-commerce, and to have an 89% growth is solid. And they didn't do as well last quarter for the e-commerce growth. So for sure, but that's actually, when you think about it, people going in stores, that it went up for the first time in 4 years during, whatever. I don't know. But that was a crazy move. Hopefully some people got into that. Pepsi had earnings, beat earnings. Conagra had earnings.
When Brad was right. I think Conagra and Pepsi, we both nailed, I think.
We did nail. I think I missed Conagra by a penny.
Yeah.
I predicted 71 cents and it was 70 cents.
Yeah.
I'm honing in things.
So, yeah. So, Be Kind, thanks for the donation. Appreciate it. And yeah, Gabriel. So yeah, as you guys can see, this is a public portfolio that the Chaos Crew folks get access to, and I update them every day after market just to kind of see what I ended up selling, what I bought. So if you guys are interested in that, again, be a part of the Chaos Crew, hit the join button. But looking really good. I sold out of some stuff for some profit. The only thing that I'm down on right now is JetBlue, which I think is going to be heavily dependent on what's in the stimulus package. I actually ended up adding to this about 145 shares. If you guys are curious, I started this off with about $5,000 right before September. So it's obviously been a little bit of a struggle to try to get it moving back up, but we're back in the green. Everything looks great. And so just kind of give you backstory as well. I'm trying to treat this account or this portfolio as if, I am a typical, just like you, 9 to 5, somebody who is adding 10% of their income, and I used 10% of YouTube revenue to add to this portfolio. And so right now I'm sitting at around $8,900 from starting at $5,000. Obviously adding to it and then trading on top of that has propelled me to that level, but things are looking great. I'm feeling really good about this portfolio now. It's crazy that we started at the beginning of September and things got rocky, but it's a pretty strong move now. So you guys want to be part of that? Come check it out over at the Chaos Crew.
Well, I appreciate that you're showing the real,
yeah,
I watch some channels and they kind of, obviously that was one of the reasons why I wanted to bring up Rite Aid, because we need to talk about our losses as well. And so, like the average trader is a 50-50 shot, right? Like a 50-50 or 50% success rate. It's really about minimizing your losses. And
well, actually, if you're trying to day trade, most beginner day traders, it's like 80 to 90% fail rate.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, you're going to have those losses, and anybody, obviously you're only watching Own the Chaos, but if by some chance you accidentally, end up on another channel, I would run if somebody's like only talking about green. So
right.
anyways, I don't think we necessarily need to spend more time on Pepsi and Conagra. If you guys have specific questions, not too much to report there, but I wanted to get to some of this commentary in the Chaos Crew. Emo, we can, if I don't like the No Life Crew, he said I can change it to the Make Money Crew. We're getting closer.
Hell
Maybe
yeah.
the Mo Money Crew or the Get Money Crew or something like that. We'll figure it out. Aaron Chen said Disney getting beat down. Yeah, Disney, honestly, it's not getting beat down as much as I thought. So there's going to be a good opportunity for Disney. It's more about when the opportunity is. I thought it was going to go down further than it did. It's only down like 1% today or something.
Yeah, it's down about 0.5% right now, and this is one thing that we did put on the watch list that actually didn't end up working out. It came to happen as we put it on the watch list, and that same day is when they came out with the 28,000 employee layoff. So it kind of got beat down a little bit, but Disney's still very much a buy. I mean, look, the Disney Plus is what's really going to continue to propel them, and then once the parks open back up, it's going to be a monstrous move on Disney. And we could very easily see $200 a share once parks open back up for good. I think that that's very possible. So if you can weather the storm and kind of navigate through the volatility that is Disney, and you're really something that's kind of dependent on kind of opening those parks back up. Because you got to remember, the revenue they got from the parks was their number one source of revenue. It wasn't the movies, wasn't anything like that. It was the parks. And the fact that they've been able to sustain growth through this with Disney Plus, and then you add the parks back on top of that, that is going to be huge. The growth that they've gotten from Disney Plus has been astronomical.
Yeah. We've been big fans of Disney. It's a great company, and if you have time, invest in it. If you have kids, get your kids some Disney, but they're going to be just fine. And that Disney Plus is going to continue to increase its share. But all that stuff, there's a lot going on really well for Disney. And I think also, like you've talked about, this is actually a balance sheet move as much as layoffs are kind of shitty.
Yeah.
This is, a balance sheet move that will reflect well, which leads to a balance sheet question. Landon L said, hey, just wondering, you guys do your research on stock news. Which websites do you use for that type of research? I know Yahoo Finance is a big one for the broad markets, but for specific stocks, balance sheets, and fundamentals, what are you looking at?
Yeah, actually, so you could look at Yahoo Finance, or you could go to CNBC. But honestly, you could also go to WeTradeHQ.com, which is a company that I've built with my partner Jake, and Christian's been a huge part of that too. But if you go to WeTradeHQ.com and you search out specific tickers, you can actually look at the SEC filings. Those are all in there as well. It actually redirects you right to the SEC. You can look at all their 10K and 10Q filings. It's all free. You can just go check it out, WeTradeHQ.com. And you can look at the filings in there, or if you just want to go straight to the SEC website. The SEC website is a little bit cumbersome to try to navigate, but that would be one resource that I would suggest you go check out is WeTradeHQ.com, and go to the filings tab, and you can look at everything there. It's all there. It makes it nice and easy, so you don't have to worry about trying to navigate that SEC website.
Yeah, Yahoo Finance is good. I think all the big ones are fine. I told you yesterday I really started using E-Trade News more. But I'm a big CNBC fan. The way CNBC is set up, I like it better. I like it. And so when I'm looking at financials, like it has a summary snapshot, which kind of gives me the main metrics I'm looking at anyways. I'm looking at growth, I'm looking at net income, I'm looking at PE, I'm looking at all that stuff. But then it has these cool visuals and scales that show you where the price is at compared to peers, or it's 52-week highs and stuff like that. So to me, it's a little bit easier. I like their app. It's just cleaner, but you can't go wrong with Yahoo. You can't go wrong. Obviously, we trade HQ as well. It's all there. Like, that's really nice to have the listings, the news, the financials, all that there. So good stuff. Mark Peach, thanks for the shout outs and all the watch list guys. Took some profit on Etsy, Peloton, and Nvidia today. Nice.
Let's go.
Around $400 since to join the crew. And the one thing I want to say, because I think Hope said also she's up $600 today. Not bad for a smaller account. If you guys can do me a favor, if you will, I'm a percentages guy. Use numbers, I'm cool with that. But if you can also give me context with percentages, because I think that translates better. Because what does $600 mean? If you have or $400, if you're up $400 on a $4,000 account, that's 10%. That's pretty damn good. So it allows us to scale, which you'll usually hear me using percentages more. But great job.
Yeah, absolutely. And real quick, just Omar Sabri, welcome to the Chaos Crew. Happy to have you.
Level 2.
Let's go.
R. Evans asked, Brad, are you able to do mentorship in the afternoon?
No. I stick to mornings. So if you guys are curious about the mentorship, I go live every morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time. You want to go check it out. The links are in the description. But it's just a smaller, more tight-knit group from the Chaos Crew. So if you want to get more in-depth and hang out in there, and we have like our Discord channel as well, if you want to be a part of that, check it out. Links are in the description. Hope is in there, lots of other folks as well, and we just have a good time in there, and I go live every morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time. I prefer that just because I got so much other stuff going on during the day, and I'm a little bit selfish in that regard, that it helps me get a start on the day. Plus, it's the busiest time in the market. You get to see everything that goes on. I put the watch list out about a half hour before we go live there, so if you want to be a part of that, come check that out too. J.A., welcome to the Chaos Crew, my man.
Steve King, does anyone have confirmation if Tesla reports today or tomorrow? There is no definitive date. It is either today or tomorrow, unless somebody has anything different. But I've looked high and low. It's just saying either today or tomorrow. These percentages. See, look, Hopi,
oh my
$600.
God.
7% is incredible. Like, so for context, like my goal is 2% a week. I'm up 2% today. But like my real goal, when I look at like my projections and my numbers, I'm trying to do a 0.5% a day. Like that's good for my account. But 7% is for one day is in freaking credible. So it's cool seeing these numbers. Steve King, 23.6%.
These percentages rolling in is crazy. I see Mike is up 56% since joining the Chaos Crew. Damn.
It's crazy. And Ema said up 4.84%, but I also use my own picks. You should be using your own picks.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Like we want you to bring your stocks. We want to talk together. That's what the community's for.
Yeah.
So kudos to you on that, Ema. Great job, man.
These are awesome.
Yeah, this is really awesome.
I'm blown away,
Jeffrey
guys.
Chow, I wish I could join the mentorship, but that's 6 a.m. for me over on the West Coast.
That sounds like an excuse to me.
Well, you get access to all the recordings. So they get posted within 30 minutes after they're done. So you can get all of them. So when you get up, just listen to it. And then you also get access to the Discord, which isn't video, but Brad's in there all day. I need to get better at getting in there, but you're in there all day. And the community, the mentorship community is in there. So just because you're not there for the live Zoom, you'll have all of it and it still pays itself off.
Yeah, I was just trying to give you a hard time about not about it being an excuse, but we got a Jay that already kind of like just dug the knife in a little deeper. We got Erica. I don't know if Erica's watching too, but we got a lot of West Coast people that still show up. But not to mention we got some people out in Europe too that hang out. So they're up till 11 midnight somewhere in those areas hanging out too. So, but anyways,
Felicia in the house, up 13% on Square.
Hell yeah, Felicia.
Nice job on Square.
That's awesome. Yeah, Square has been an absolute monster. I mean, we love Square around here. What else we got?
I'm just filtering through these percentages.
I'm just telling you, I'm blown away. You guys are awesome. I'm blown away.
Retirement. What's up, Retirement? Is $35, $36 a good entry point for CAG Conagra?
CAG. So I believe I said that. Somebody asked that in the mentorship. Yeah. So I actually looked at 36 as a potential pullback area, and then it sold off pretty considerably. But yeah, I would say so. 34.50 would have been a hell of a grab. Here's the thing with Conagra. They got, it's a good steady growth one. If you want something that you can just kind of stick on autopilot for a while, that's Conagra. It's not super volatile. It doesn't go all over the place all of the time. It's just nice and steady. So you want something like that, then Conagra is your stock. They have a good, decent dividend as well.
Hopi said it's hard to relate to traders making 25K in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
Ema said, yes, I can relate to all that. These guys are so much more real. We're real people. KYM, what you asking about Pepsi earnings? Hopi loves some Adidas. What do you think of Adidas? I know Nike is king, but Adidas has some cool products too.
Which one? Adidas?
Yeah, Adidas.
You
know what that stands for, right?
I don't know what that stands for.
All day I dream about sex. Sports.
Oh shit! I haven't heard that one before. That's hilarious. Yeah, this looks really choppy. The daily chart is a little off. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some value. It's been moving up and looking great. Adidas is obviously a really good company. They've been around a long time. I guess if I had to make my choice, I would go with Nike, though. Not that I'm trying to plug them or anything, because I am wearing a Nike top today. But yeah, if I had to go with my choice on which company I liked better, I would have to go with Nike.
Yo, I just got new Nikes yesterday. Check these out, people.
Ooh, look at them.
Look at me.
Look at them.
My head looks so tiny next to them.
She got some big old feet.
Real
quick, I just see that Felicia said that her best trade is up 69% on AMD because she's been following me a long time. She sure as hell has. And yeah, we've been talking about AMD. Percentage. That is an incredible. That's a hell of a percentage, Felicia. But
she's like 69%. Sell. That's a perfect percentage. That's what I hit that on everyone.
Everybody up 69%. Alex Hudson, welcome to the Chaos Crew.
You know, Steve King is trying to get to 69%. If you know what I'm saying? I'll stop, Steve. I'm sorry. It's like once a show. I'm ragging on Steve, and I'm already like 3 jokes.
Yeah, right. Steve loves it. He's been another one of those guys that just has hung out and has been a huge supporter of the channel. So we know who we can pick on and who we can't, so it's pretty awesome.
I mean, Steve's at his house, and his wife's like, Steve, why do you keep turning the thermostat at 69%? Seriously, does does your pin code have to be 6969, Steve? I'm done, Steve. I promise, I'm
done. That's hilarious.
Oh,
this Tesla's going 69 miles an hour.
Stop driving. Stop setting this cruise control to 69 miles an hour.
Oh my God.
Oh man, he's done. Anyways, let me get, I'm lost. All right, Melissa H. So I'm really wanting to get more shares in Apple, but the gap on the daily is making me so nervous. Am I being too paranoid?
Yeah, you are. And that's okay. That's what we're here for. We've been talking about Apple, right? We talked about this a couple of weeks ago about how it coming down to 105 was insane, and that it was time to scoop this up. We talked about this a lot of the FANG stocks, really. How it came down. Amazon came down below 3,000. We were like, please buy this thing. We were practically begging people to buy Amazon below 3,000, and now look at it. And then Apple, same thing, with down at 205. Facebook, we said, was a buy at 250, and they've all started to move up. So I don't think that you've missed the train completely on Apple, but I wouldn't be taking too much more time to wait for some crazy pullback. I think we probably see a small one from here, but I don't see it coming back down to 105 anytime soon, especially leading into the end of the year.
Everybody's ragging on.
You guys are cracking me up.
Dead League said Big Bull 69 is his password. Somebody asked. Some people came in, I guess, late and asking about Tesla. Sony, we talked about Tesla, and we had said, or what I had said was, Sony asked if it getting back down to 400, we'll see a dip on it. Yeah, potentially we could, because people are already expecting these numbers. So Brad thinks it might be a buy the rumor, sell the news, and 418, 420. I don't know. I don't think it's going to go below 400.
Yeah, it's hard to see that.
Yeah, but I definitely could see it going towards 420 easy.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked about, I can't find it anymore, but I know the question. The question was about stocks. If the stimulus doesn't go through or does go through, like stocks to watch.
It's hard not to. I mean, if a stimulus goes through, it's the airliners for one, and we've already kind of talked about that and touched on this, but I got in and have been adding to JetBlue, and the only reason that I'm in JetBlue is because it is kind of nice and cheap, and so I just wanted something to get into that kind of really focuses on domestic travel. But we've talked about Southwest a ton, and Southwest, it's not like it's super expensive, so you could definitely go that route as well. But those are the two that I kind of would really focus on. But if we don't get some sort of stimulus soon, and we've talked about this, that there's going to be some pretty massive layoffs as far as airlines are considered. And American Airlines, I think, is going to be one of the biggest, we're going to see the biggest layoffs from them. But, yeah, I mean, the reason I'm talking about the domestic ones so much is because we're still very limited on international travel. When you look at something like Delta that relies a lot on international travel, then that kind of puts them at a disadvantage at this point. Once things open back up, it's a different story. But you look at something like Southwest or JetBlue, something that has a good balance sheet and a decent break-even load factor, then that's why I think that that's definitely going to be a good sector to go towards. Do not go to the cruise lines. I would avoid those at all costs. But really, kind of anything that would benefit. We're looking at all the FANG stocks, NVIDIA, all of those, they're just going to make some good moves. So get in some good quality companies, and I think it'll be just fine. The stimulus is going to impact all of those.
Dead Leagues deployed to Poland. Nice. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's
Todd
awesome.
Landon, Tesla numbers. Oh, we don't know the time. It's not necessary. It's either today or tomorrow. They're just going to come out. R. Evans asked, are there any ways to talk to you direct, Brad? So, the mentorship, is the only way.
That's it. Links in the description.
We have the live Q&A on Fridays. So every Friday at 2 p.m., we do a live Q&A that's only for members. So only members can see it and ask questions. But yeah, if like you're talking about one-on-one, WeTradeHQ.com, the link's in the description. So you can go there and get a 30-day free trial. And that's different. The mentorship is different than the Chaos Crew membership. Two different things.
Yes.
So, anything you need to add there?
Nope. I just wanted to update everybody that Rocket is still on fire. 2211, sitting up 10, almost 11%.
See, Mike, thank you guys. Got rid of my cannabis fails and capital loss. Now I'm positive for the year.
Let's
nice
go.
Work. Good job.
Let's go. That's awesome.
Mark Peach, I really like seeing these numbers. I've got an $8,000 account, so I'm up around 25% on Peloton, 20% on Etsy, and 15% on Nvidia. Incredible. These are really incredible.
They are incredible. I hope you guys are also trimming some off too. And just something that I don't think we emphasize enough is just making sure you don't get too greedy. The profits aren't yours until you sell. So I'm not saying to sell everything, but it doesn't hurt to take some profit here and there on the way up.
Also, Don Franz in the house, and I think I didn't mention the comment yesterday. I let it go when I was doing my diatribe about Rocket. He said something about zombies being dead or something, like don't sit in something. Rocket, baby. Don Franz, we're making a video. I told Don, I'm like, you got to make a video on the zones, because it went right into his zone. So that was a good one. So we got Tuk selling Griffin Garrett. Selling is the hardest part of trading personally.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially selling for a loss.
Yeah.
That's probably, they're equally hard. Dawson Schreiner, any way to get that current price line on TD?
The current price line?
What's the question? I don't understand. What's TD?
A TD Meritage probably, but current price line, I don't know. I guess maybe he's talking about, I have this marked out, I have a couple areas marked out. I guess there's this current price line here. Like if I'm looking at Rocket right now and it's got a line here, but I'm sure there is on TD. I don't know if I recall that.
Oh, Don, my bad. I thought you were talking about my Rocket. I was. It was perfect.
Good.
So, thoughts on CCL, but you already kind of talked about cruise liners.
Yeah, and CCL is the worst kind. It really is. When you have double the debt, it's probably more than that, double the debt that you have over your market cap, that's insane. That's an insane number. I think they have $15 billion in debt. And a good chunk of that, I would say like 60 to 65%, I think, if I recall, is convertible debt, which means that is debt that converts into shares, which dilutes the stock and then forces it down even further. So that is the worst stock. If you have to be in a cruise line, you just can't not be in one, go to Royal Caribbean, and that's it.
Oh, hell yeah.
But yeah, Don, I agree with you. I'd rather focus on airlines and cruises because they're at least in a little better shape than the cruise lines are.
Jay Singh, thoughts on taking profit from CrowdStrike?
Taking profit never hurt anybody.
Good point. Your world's fastest answer really threw me for a loop on that one.
No, but in all seriousness, like we just talked about how trimming out, take something and then leave some more shares in there. Maybe it does go off. But yeah, taking profit never hurt anybody.
There's something I wanted to bring up that was a comment today on the watch list. Somebody commented, but it was asking about, or no, it was off a separate video you had done, but it was talking about Wynn and basically asking, do you not like Wynn? And you've spoken ad nauseum about MGM, and you really like MGM because of their cash on hand, their cash flow, all that stuff. Great stuff. What I did want to mention about Wynn, though, because Wynn's not a bad stock. I'm not opposed to somebody holding on to Wynn. One of the things we haven't talked about this week is what's called Golden Week. And so it's a week-long event, and basically it's in China, and you get I think it's actually 5 days. But anyways, you get vacation. It's huge for the resort industry and the casino industry in Macau, which Macau is essentially the Vegas of the East. And so Wynn has the largest exposure to Macau. And so I'm interested. I'm actually keeping my eye on Macau and those numbers for Golden Week.
Yeah.
So Wynn actually could benefit as we see the numbers from Macau, because they weren't doing well. Like their occupancy was horrible.
Yeah.
And people weren't going back to visit. So my hope is that Golden Week kind of sparked that. MGM has a little bit of exposure, but Wynn's the one. If you hear the numbers are coming back strong, that's the one to be in.
I like China.
I would love to go to Macau.
Yeah, it would be a cool experience, probably.
Apparently, it's incredible. Like Las Vegas on steroids, if there's such a thing.
So, Golden Week crew.
Golden Week crew, let's go. Emo, what do you think we see for a price target if Tesla beats expectations on deliverables?
Target? So what she is asking?
Now, so Ema, we said this at the beginning. I think you were here. Just because they beat expectations, there's no sure bet that it's gonna go up.
Yeah. So we are talking about Target, right? Just want to make sure I have the right ticker pulled up.
Tesla.
Oh, Tesla.
Price target for Tesla
price
if they
target
beat
for
expectations.
Yeah. So Tesla has earnings come out at the end of the month. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing, and I think it's going to weigh on a lot of things. Kind of like what my theory is as far as, if they don't blow these sales expectations out of the water, it may be more of a buy the news or buy the rumor, sell the news kind of situation. And it depends on what the price of Tesla does leading up to earnings. If the same situation happens and nobody's really necessarily surprised that they beat earnings, and they don't come up with something else that's going to influence people to buy after the report, then that's where the problem becomes, a little bit tricky. So, or the stock becomes a little bit tricky. So that's kind of where my mind is right now on both of those situations, with the sales and also leading into earnings. So we'll just have to see if there is any kind of selling off and the run up into earnings for Tesla isn't too insane for it, because, we don't want to have some sort of letdown after earnings come out.
And Rocket, don't look now, is above $22, 11%. And Zoom is also up 2%.
Yes, it is.
Looks like things are moving back. Things are looking really good.
Yeah, I actually ended up adding back to Zoom this morning as well. Ended up averaging in some more on that. So feeling really good. I think Zoom I probably don't plan on selling Zoom until it gets back up over $500.
Aaron Chen, Amazon cleared that 3,200. My man.
Let's go.
Oh, I love you, Rocket. William Fricknick, what's up? Says, how many Rocket whiners cash out in 60 minutes because they got some of their money back from that September 1st tank?
Yeah, I love William. He's so good. He cracks me up. It's not a good day without William coming in with a zinger.
Don asks, Brad and Cash, have you guys gone into the solar ETF? TAN. T-A-N.
I have not. I haven't even looked at that. I'm going to have to pass.
I think, yeah, that might be a joke too, because I saw an earlier joke about somebody said about Don saying the solar's the new cannabis.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I mean, and EVs are starting to get that way too. All of these SPAC EVs are driving me insane.
Haiti Shukur got an average cost of $23 on Rocket. Should I sell a little, or you think it has more room to run?
It's got plenty of room to run.
Selling at a loss.
I think it's got plenty of room to run, and no, I wouldn't sell for a loss. If your time horizon allows for it and you can afford the risk a little bit more, then I would say hold on to Rocket. I mean, we just kind of talked about how the real estate market is not slowing down anytime soon. Despite what other people might say or think, I think that real estate's going to go blow up. And the other thing is too, that people don't talk about a whole lot, is that Rocket is also a benefactor of the Rona. If you think about it, and you want to move into a house, but you don't want to have to deal with, meeting with a real estate agent in person or going into a bank in person to apply for a loan. Rocket allows you to do this from your home. So it's just yet another benefactor of remote work or just stay-at-home type plays. I think Rocket, it just has a lot of potential. And, we talked about it being a joke at and under $20 a share, and now it's moving. I think it's got plenty of room to go.
Now, something that we haven't talked about that is probably going to be a topic for future discussions and consideration is IPOB, which was a SPAC play, Open Door, which we actually like the concept. That'll be interesting how that plays with Rocket. I'm not too worried about it, because I think they both can live together and they're a little bit different in what they offer, but that's something to keep your eye on as well. Show, SHO. A couple of people have been asking about that. Yeah, see, Mike, Etsy is killing it today. Show is up 3.23%. Is that right?
SHO is Sunstone Hotel. No idea.
Yeah, I don't know if they meant show because that's not up 3%.
No.
But okay. If you guys can clarify that. Tesla's less than 1% from that sweet 450 mark.
Zoom is rocking right now. Let's freaking go. New high of the day, 480.51. It's up 2.2%. Rocket is also still rolling here. It's up 11.25%.
Oh, shoot. Haiti, Steve King answered your question on whether you sell or hold. He said to hold on to Rocket until it hits $69.
Yes, that's a very good call. $69.69 actually. Oh shit. Hey, there's 312 of you watching in here. If any of you laughed in the last hour or 60 minutes or even just in the last 60 seconds, please give us a thumbs
up. Sonny makes a good point. I'd probably wait for a red day to add to Rocket. Yeah, I don't know if I would chase it today, but again, this is going to have a red day. It could potentially pull back a little bit tomorrow, but we're still bullish on it long term.
Yeah.
William Fricknick said, I accidentally bought NIO instead of INO this morning. PDT rule said tough shit. So go NIO go.
Oh, damn, that sucks. I wouldn't have bought either one of those, but hey, to each his own.
Oh, nice. Nice job, Benjamin Castaneda Rivera.
Let's go.
Michael G. Bad Macau numbers. I don't know about the Macau numbers, but they were bad before, but we just started Golden Week today. So we're going to wait for that. I bought some Patrick Wazilichik. I think I did good on that. No, Wazilchik. I fucked it up. I bought some shares of Palantir at $11. Thought it'd pop. Should I hold?
I think Palantir could potentially have some decent movement. I said we talk about this on IPOs all the time that there's always this pop and then it fizzles out and then it takes a while for it to come back. And we saw that with Snow and we even saw that with Rocket earlier in its IPO. And so, I mean, I think it probably does end up coming back. I think $9.29 seems a bit silly for the company itself. So if you can afford to hang around in it, sure. If you really would think that you could use that money to make more money elsewhere and you don't have the patience for it, then, don't torture yourself.
All I got to say to the cast crew is you are children. You are children.
You have to say it.
Ema?
Yeah.
Ema says, what are the showers like during Golden Week in Macau?
Oh, shit.
That was good.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
They great golden showers. Gabriel says, I'm up 11.54% on Rocket. We'll use some of this green for my birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So Tam Slam Johnson, any thoughts on Workhorse?
Oh man, my favorite stock to talk about is Workhorse. Let me just tell you.
Fastly's killing
Can't say enough things about it. No, so Workhorse, it's hanging right around its $25 support line. I think that it is, as long as it can hold $25, probably is a buy. But again, I've said this many, many times. The only thing that Workhorse is weighing on, the success, I should say, is a USPS deal. So if it doesn't go through, it's bad news for Workhorse. So know the risk. Speaking of rockets, Rocket is freaking flying. Let's freaking go. New high of the day on Rocket.
You have the chart up?
I do have the chart up.
Oh, I have a delay. There it is. There it is.
12%
what a beautiful
coming.
baby.
12% coming.
Shama Hake, just found out I had a limit order on Zoom according to your recommendation. It got executed this morning. I think there's something missing at the end of that, but I hope that was a buy order.
Yeah. Hope you bought it.
Ema, you saw the Ema comment?
No.
He said, I sold Rocket for a 30% loss. I hate all of you. There you are. There you are, Ema.
Hey, you know what, Ema? At least you admitted it. At least you admitted it. You were the sucker. Because there was a lot of other ones that just aren't. They're hiding behind, today. They're like, oh, we knew it all along. So at least you're a real one, Ema.
Well, if you got a 30% loss, you got it before we started talking about it, or maybe not.
Maybe not. Because I was talking about $28. I was talking about around $28, $30, but I sold for a loss at $28, $30. Small loss. I've more than made up for it now, but yeah.
30%? That can't be right.
Yeah, I mean,
what did Rocket get up to? Rocket? That's like $70.
No.
Or no. Sorry.
If you bought $1,000 of Rocket,
that's $31.
Yeah,
$31. My fault.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Claudia said I was talking shit too about Rocket, but held strong.
We gave her all kinds of shit yesterday.
She was the one. She was the one who got me fired up. Almost put her ass in timeout.
That's what you said. God.
You owe me, Claudia. I expect the Christmas card. Thank you. Sony, do you think the market will be choppy next week, or have we consolidated now?
Oh, no, it'll be choppy. I mean, leading all the way up to November 3rd, it's going to be choppy. And even maybe a couple weeks after. So, yeah. We're just enjoy today. They always talk about in football, you win a game on Sunday, you enjoy it on Monday, and then it's back to work. Same deal here. It's the same mentality. Enjoy the day, and then tomorrow get back to work, because it's going to be, you never know. I mean, the stimulus talks could go south again, and then there goes the markets, and, poll numbers for whomever president that the market favors is, could be bad. You just never know. So enjoy the day, and then we'll move on to tomorrow. Get back to the grind.
Trevor Sachs said, finally got into CVS on today's low. Nice. I was actually I was looking at that for watch tomorrow.
Yeah, CVS. Interesting that this has gotten beaten down. Not really understanding why all that much, but I would say that this is still a buy.
One Nan T says, you guys are awesome. Funny as heck. So one Nan T is either 80 years old or 8 years old. You can say hell. Hell's not even a curse word. We say far worse than hell.
Yeah, what the fuck, one Nan T? What the fuck?
We make fun of you because we love you. We love us some Hope. Hope said she loves us.
Yeah.
Eric Scarro. What's up, Eric? VIAC looks like a good buy.
VIAC?
The Viacom?
Oh. I don't think so.
Damn.
I don't think so. I'm gonna have to pass on Viacom. I mean, unless Viacom figures out how to go digital. That I don't think so. I'm gonna pass on that.
What about from a technical perspective, or like a day trade or something like that?
It's just gone down so much. I mean, like.
Oh yeah, this is the daily. Or I'm looking at the 4 hour right now.
I'm looking at the 4 hour too. It looks terrible. They have CBS. They have like their streaming service, but it doesn't even come close to comparing themselves to like any of their competitors in the streaming space. So like, I don't know what the future looks like for Viacom or CBS or any of the other major news networks. Like, they got to figure something else out, because it's going to be tough going for them. When advertising is really kind of like what makes you money, and that's what that's where Viacom and CBS kind of like fall into. You're looking at companies like Google and YouTube. YouTube and Google, they're the same thing, but like, those types of streaming services are taking over the major networks, and I just don't know if this would be a good one that I would want to stick into.
I would say, looking at the chart, long term, I agree with you. I think that if you set a tight loss, I think I wouldn't be mad at you if you actually got in here thinking there might be a bounce here, because if you set a stop at like $27, be high upside, or right below $27. I would say even $26.50.
I was going to say
I think there could be some risk rewards.
Yeah, I was going to say there are 25.50, 25.65 on a 4-hour chart seems to be a potential support for it. So we start to see some sort of bounce there, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to try to flip it and keep a tight stop, I ain't mad at you.
Yeah.
Bed Bath & Beyond, Tammy Johnson. Bed Bath & Beyond is up today. Do you have any brick and mortar retail stores that you like? Nordstrom? ?
No, I like TJ Maxx better. I also like Kohl's is a good one, and Michael's. This is a low key one that nobody really talks about, but Michael's is a good one too, as far as that's concerned. You can kind of see that today it's having a rocking day, but somebody in our actual mentorship group loves Michael's, and she always is all about this thing. She predicts this thing to T almost all the time. But this is another good one that I probably would take a look at. It's nice and cheap. They got a lot of potential, especially when we're talking about real estate and all that good stuff from the home decor side of things. You know how Wayfair's been doing. Michael's falls in that line of whatever you want to call it, in that category.
All right, I have a few more questions. So any added questions, I'm not going to add, but
Rocket is still ripping. Jesus Christ.
One Nancy said, "Man, this hour flies by. I can't believe it's already 3:10." One Nancy said, "Bought 100 shares of Rocket. I'm not 80 or 80, but I may be 69. I like your style. I like your style."
Oh shit.
People are buying nickel again. Yeah. They're idiots. What about Tencent? Somebody said they're the Facebook of China. Is that right?
Tencent is? I thought they were in gaming. I thought Tencent was in gaming.
I thought Tencent was gaming too.
I think it is.
Maybe that was something else.
I think Tencent's gaming. I would rather lean towards like Take-Two or Activision.
Okay. Cool. Then we got Amazon price target by the end of the year. Wayne Atkinson.
Which one?
Amazon price target by the end of the year.
Oh, I misspoke on Stockwatch Sunday and said 3,500. I think we see 4,000 by the end of the year.
4K.
4K.
There was news. Go ahead.
No, I just said 4. I was just mocking you.
What, 4K?
Yeah. I was just repeating what you said.
There was news this morning. There was an upgrade for Amazon.
Damn, Rocket.
Analysts upgraded it to 4,250, I think, from 3,900. So that could have potentially been a little bit of a bump up for Amazon. That is the highest price target, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So they upgraded it to 4,250. Rocket
is still a fucking rocket.
Claudia, you guys are definitely getting Christmas gifts if Amazon hits 4K. You can get us. Isn't there like a 4K TV?
Yeah. I mean, that makes all the sense in the world. Get us a big ass 4K. Put it in the studio. And we'll even put your damn name on it. I don't even care.
It's not 4K, but I was talking to the AV guy about my buddy about the, we wanted the 4 screens.
Yeah.
But he's sending me a 100-inch too. We're looking at a 100-inch screen TV.
Yeah. Don, this is not my first screen trade. I just like making fucking money. And I don't care if it's anything. If I'm making money on something, it's worth celebrating.
Wait, what happened? What did I miss?
He said, "Is this your first green trade?" Because I'm like hype over it.
Who said that?
Don. Who else?
Oh, Don. I thought you said John. Oh, gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. $20, that gets you a case of beer.
Darren, better late than never. No. Don. I love you, bro. Every time I eat on Don, I always say I love you, bro. No, but I'm gonna tell Don he did the exact same thing. Don, you know how Brad feels because you made a whole video about Apple when people I guess misinterpreted what you said. You did like 3 videos. Now I said 15 times I'm bullish, but it's gonna pull back. It was the best. I loved it. When he literally counted it and then he pulled recordings. It was the best. I mean, props to Don. And bullish. And if you can't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, we'll put the captions on. 15 times in 3 minutes.
That's right. All right, guys.
Do the happy dance, Brad.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you're hitting the like button on your way out the door. You guys are incredible. And that's going to do it for us today. If you guys, again, want to be part of the Chaos Crew and get these watch lists as well as private live streams, access to this portfolio every single day when I make trades, when I'm getting out of stuff, when I'm getting into stuff, hit that join button, get in the description, click those links, and we'll catch you guys for Stock Watch. Well, we'll catch you tomorrow. We'll put it where I was right, where I was wrong. And yeah, have a great day. Enjoy it.
The live Q&A is at 2 p.m. Stock Watch Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And new news, every live stream moving forward is now going to be 69 minutes.
That's right.
Peace.
And 69 seconds. Get the hell out of here. See you guys.